Goes back to the shootout murder of 35-year-old Gentrail Wafford a year ago near Interstate 70 in North St. Louis. Brandon Cross and Terrance Williams are in jail accused of murdering Wafford during a robbery. Wafford had pulled a weapon to defend the robbery victim, Roderick Silinzy. Silinzy survived and was one of the key witnesses until he was murdered last month. No one has yet been charged with that crime. But now Larry Strickland and Anthony Demyers are accused of intimidating the other two witnesses. Court documents give this account. Williams discussed it with them on the phone from jail. Williams got a copy of a police report from his attorney identifying the witnesses and their last known addresses. Williams mailed the report to Demyers so he would know who to target.
It shows that why victims are afraid to come forward, and we have to address and make witnesses and victims feel like they can come forward and they're going to be protected, and we're going to hold individuals accountable under every extent of the law. In these instances, when you tamper with a witness or victim, we're going to come after you.
Nobody's afraid of what in St. Louis is the district attorney, but she goes by a different title than that. This witness intimidation is an everyday fact of life all over the country. Nobody's afraid of this district attorney, especially because she's demonstrated over and over and over again she's on the side of the people doing the killing. She's on the side of the fellas who are the perpetrators, because she's turned them into victims. And as to the real victims, well, she just shrugs her shoulders and says, well, we don't have enough evidence for that. Lots and lots of people still remember how she released the black person who killed the Asian person, shrugging her shoulders as if she didn't know nothing about nothing. The very next day, after her pronouncement, we're going to get tough on these criminals, they had to dismiss a double murder against a fellow who was identified to be at the scene of the crime, and he was caught with the gun used in the crime, but one of the witnesses did not show up. So the judge dismissed the charges with prejudice, which means they cannot be brought again. If you look at the comments on that page, I think that's in the St. Louis Post-Dispatch story. If you look at the comments, there's a couple of dozen comments very evenly divided. There's one group of comments that say, hey, why are we letting killers back out on the street when there's lots and lots of evidence that they're guilty? Why aren't we securing these witnesses? Why are we pretending as if we don't know anything about witness intimidation when this happens all the time? But then the second group of commentators were the fellas and their lovely ladies, insisting that this guy who was identified as being the shooter, who went into a room full of people and started shooting people, killed 2, wounded a few more, everybody all of a sudden developed amnesia soon after. They caught him with the gun. No, the people, the fellas and their lovely ladies insisting he was innocent. And if they really wanted to help him, they should give him a job, because everybody knows he's innocent, because cops are always picking on black people for no reason whatsoever, for stupid things like this. Apparently the people who killed themselves, apparently that's apparently what they did. They killed themselves because accusing somebody of killing themselves, instead of showing the evidence that this is just one more example of black violence and criminality wildly out of proportion, well, it's better to say they killed themselves, because that never makes the black kids angry.